that you've been through. You cannot tell people what so and so did. Sometimes it's part. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, or should I say welcome back to another video. Okay, my name is Nompilo. So on to those people that have been watching my videos, thank you so much for watching, and those that managed to subscribe, thank you so much for subscribing. So today we're not going to be talking about skincare, guys, because I feel like, you know, I can't always be talking about skincare. There are other things that I can talk about, and there are other things that can engage those other people that are not into skincare, because not everybody is into skincare. And another reason being, I love talking. Okay, I love talking, and I feel like I have everything to say about everything. I'm that kind of person. I've got a lot to say about everything. So, you know, my views are important, just like your views are important. So I'm going to make my own views known. Anyway, so on to the topic of today. Today we're going to be talking about journaling. So, beg your pardon, I'm going to drink my mugot tea. And for those of you that don't know mugot tea, it's mugot or maggot. I don't know the spelling. Mugot or maggot. It's sort of like, it's like chamomile tea. It helps you calm down. It helps you sleep. You know, it makes you like together as one. So yeah, I have my own crazy moments. So things like mugot tea, they help me, you know, zen down a little bit. And I need zenning down this evening. So yeah, on today, I've got my little book here. This is not even just a book, but it's a journal. Right, it's got lock and key. I live by myself, but actually, you know, if I've got people around, I do lock my my journal because I don't like people reading it. And on top here, this is just a sticker that I put myself, okay? And I'm gonna read what it says. It says, abundance is my birthright. I am open to growth and expansion. So this is just my little note which I wrote to the universe, and it says I'm open to growth and expansion financially, spiritually, and mentally. So yeah, the reason why I bought a journal, you know, is because I feel like sometimes I need to write my thoughts down. I need to tell the universe what I've been through. I need to tell spirit what I've been through. Otherwise, I will go cuckoo. So yeah, I know some of you will be like, oh, but journaling is for kids. Guys, journaling is not for kids. Right? It's not for kids, not at all. It's actually a healthy tool that everybody can use to sort of like push their mind to a healthier state, because we all know what the mind does. At the end of the day, you don't know yourself, you don't know who you are. And at the end of the sometimes it's family, brothers, sisters, people at work, on the street. Like, I find that in winter, people go crazy in the UK. They abuse each other on the roads. And sometimes that abuse can be trapped into your in your energy, and it can stay up here. Your mind is going zing, 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 zing. I need to address this. I need to address this, but I cannot tell a physical being. And secondly, some people don't talk. Another reason why people need a journal. Some people don't talk. Like I always say, like, talking is healthy. Right? Some people just don't talk. If you are the type that cannot talk, you need this, right? You need this to write whatever you're feeling, you know, whatever you went through, what somebody did to you as a child in secondary school, in college, in uni. You need to write what happened to you yesterday. What happened to you today? As long as it's something that is bothering you and bugging you, it's in your energy, you need to write it down. Otherwise, you're going to go insane. Like, you know, mental health is an issue. Like, it's real. People commit suicide not because they are crazy, but because they cannot deal with certain occurrences in their life. They cannot deal with what happened to them when they were a child. Were they molested? Were they beaten unfairly? You know, like, especially us African kids, like, we just chum, 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 and you don't understand why a mother or a father hit you. You don't understand why that teacher treated you that way. I know we all go through things. So no one can say, oh, I've never been through anything. Yes, you have. And you need to write your thoughts down, your feelings, your emotions, how you are feeling. It's a really powerful tool, and it's easy to use because nobody puts a load down for you to say, this is what you're supposed to write. You know, I write everything and anything on here. So anyway, on to the reasons why I love journaling, and I feel like everybody should journal. It's a powerful tool. Number one, I like to tell the universe what I've been through. I love to tell spirit what I've been through. So the way I start writing, let's say I'm writing, like, everything is always on a fresh page. Whatever occurrence, how I'm feeling, it's always on a fresh page. So I'll sort of like write the date and write exactly what happened. Because I feel like if I'm writing and I'm repeating what happened to me, I'm not in denial of what happened. I'm going to write it down exactly the way it happened. And as I write it down, I'm also listening to my mind, and I'm also listening to my intuition. What is my intuition telling me? And 9 times out of 10, I do not, because in everything that happens to us, we also have a part to take. We have a responsibility. Sometimes the responsibility is to, okay, how are you dealing with it? What is your mind saying about this? So, number one reason why I love journaling, I love to tell the universe what I've been through. That's how I started. Oh, today, such and such did this to me. A colleague did this to me. Today, you know, I made such and such a mistake. Anything that is in my energy and is bothering me, I will write it down. Because there's a reason why my mind will be going like this. It's a powerful tool to sort of like, it allows you to let go. Right? It allows you to let go. You've written it down. You've told spirit. Now you can start letting go. And that leads to the reason number 2. It's a healing process. That's where my healing begins. It means that if it's something that happened in the morning, if I'm still holding on to it around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, it means it's bothering me. Now, here is the problem. Whatever happened to you, if you are writing it down, it doesn't mean, okay, as you write, you're going to heal it. Number one, you need to leave room for healing. But it's actually the beginning of healing. Because the way I use my diary is this. If at the top I write what happened, I take a moment, because I'm a person that meditates as well. I take a moment to meditate and ask the universe, okay, universe, how am I supposed to deal with this? Right? And then whatever answer comes along in that very moment, I'm writing it down. It's sort of like, for those people that have done reflection in uni, it is sort of like a reflection. So you've got a problem or you've got a mistake, you write down, how are you going to stop that mistake from happening? So I've written a problem, I've told you the problem, I've told universe the problem. How is the universe going to help me? Or what is the universe saying about this problem in terms of how can I as Nompilo take responsibility or take action towards that problem? So that's why it's like I tell the universe the problem and then I get the advice as to how I'm supposed to approach the problem. If I don't get advice, I'm going to wait, I'm going to calm down, I'm going to take either a day or two. Definitely the universe will give me. Right, so guys, the third reason why I love journaling so much, it allows you to learn, it allows you to grow, it allows you to expand. So how you end up like learning and growing is this. If you are writing something down, and you are not in denial of what happened, 9 times out of 10, you are going to find your contribution in whatever happened. Right. Here is the problem. A lot of people, and I used to do this too. I used to feel like if somebody does something to me, they did that. So I had this mentality, of like, oh yeah, such and such did this to me, da 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 da. And I'm walking day in, day out, month in, month out, like a zombie, because that's what negative energy does. That is negative energy. It makes you walk around like a zombie. Your mind is just in this space of, why did they do this to me? Why did they do this to me? 9 times out of 10, whatever, and I know that for some people this is going to be a hard pill to swallow. Whatever happens to us, especially as adults, we have a contribution. I'm going to give you an example. If you borrow somebody money, I've done this. Like, you borrow somebody money. You're like, okay, you're not even giving. You specify, I am borrowing you. You borrow somebody, let's say 500. You're like, okay, when are you going to pay me my 500? Oh, I'm going to pay you maybe in 2 months or 3 months or whatever. You are taking the responsibility of trusting that person. This is a fact. You are taking responsibility. It's your decision to trust that person. You could trust them because they are a friend, whether they are family, whether you've borrowed their money before and they've paid back, and now you've the two of you established this working relationship. Whatever the reason is, that person is not forcing you to trust them. It's you taking the responsibility to trust them. Now, what happens if they don't pay back? You're gonna walk around sad and miserable. They didn't pay me back my money. They are a criminal. They are like this. They are like that. Now, where is your responsibility in trusting them? Out of your good heart, you trusted that person. And that's you. Now you need to deal with the fact that you trusted a person. So assuming I'm writing something down, how I end up growing, I always look for those areas or look for a reason why that person ended up doing this to me. Was it because I trusted them? Was it because I smiled too much for them and they took me for a joke? Was it because I'm always there for them? Because sometimes if you're always there for a person would think, what a moron, what an idiot. Even if it's family, they do that. And sometimes it just happens that people say, oh, I'm gonna ask Nompilo to do this. And then it now becomes a habit. And that person sort of like takes you for granted. My responsibility was the fact that I became too lenient on that person and they did what they did. Nobody taught me this. I learned that through journaling. And realizing that, yes, in everything that happens to us, especially as adults, we have a contribution. We have a contribution. Now, the problem is, were we in control at that time? Were we in control? If you are trusting somebody to give them your money, as much as the universe won't say, yeah, you did a wrong thing, but you also did a wrong thing. By trusting them, it was your responsibility. You were in charge of that. So, I don't know if you catch my drift, if you understand what I'm saying. I realize that in everything that happens to us, especially as adults, I'm not going to say as children, because people take advantage of children because they're young, they're kids, they're not going to do anything, and they don't have the mindset to sort of like decide. But as adults, we, in everything, we have a responsibility. And if we find whatever that responsibility is, we grow, we learn, we expand from it. If it's, let's say it's something like trust. If you trusted a person, a friend or whatever, and you gave them something that you dearly loved, if they don't return that thing, or if they are not responsible with it, your responsibility was trusting. Are you ever going to trust that person again? Highly likely no. They're going to have to work hard to gain your trust. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. I hope you took and understand that point. Right, guys, the fourth reason why I love journaling is because it allows me to address my childhood, which is where everything begins, right? Things that we go through as adults, sometimes we have been framed as kids. So, I'll give you an example. Let's say you grew up in a family of, your mom and dad were telling you, oh, you're useless. Oh, this one is useless. Oh, this one is lazy. Oh, this one is dumb. They cannot even do anything. What does that do to you as an adult? There are so many adults here that are working with untapped potential because they were told they're useless, they're dumb, they're like this, they're like that, they're crazy, they're blah, 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 they're blah, blah, blah. All of that, all of those things, they block us. And those are things that need to be addressed. So if I ever have anything in my head from my childhood that I'm feeling, I will write it down. And because now I'm an adult, there's a reason why that thing is still cropping in my head. It's because I haven't dealt with it. Because if you deal with something, it's going to go away. If you grow up in an abusive household and as an adult, you still have those moments of anger, you still hear the voices of mom and dad yelling at each other or yelling at you, you still feel like you want to run to the other end of the earth. You still feel like you want to jump because of those memories. It's time to address them. Either you speak to somebody. If you cannot speak to somebody, write them down and follow the strategy of, okay, now I've written it down. How do I deal with it? Do you know what I mean? It always works. You write it down, and then now you whether you are a person who prays, meditates, whatever, or sometimes if you're a person that speak to yourself and say, okay, I am such and such. How am I going to deal with this problem? Because things that we don't attend to as children, they are a disaster when we grow up. They are a disaster. Some people drink and smoke excessively, not because they have problems as adults, but because their problems started off as children. Now, as I address this childhood trauma thing, I feel like we all walk around with childhood trauma. We all, I'm not going to even say it's a race issue or it's a religion issue or we all, whether you are whatever color, whether you come from where, we all walk around with childhood trauma. Sometimes it's not things that happen to us, it's things that happened to our parents, It's things that happened in school when we were growing up. So I love to address my childhood with this journal because it's something that makes me realize, oh, you know what? I'm still thinking about that. What actually happened then? And now I'm using my adult mind to tap into the 4-year-old who is still cropping up, thinking about what happened. If I feel like, people may not understand this, but I understand it clearly. That as adults, sometimes you hear people saying, oh, this is an adult person trapped in a 4-year-old body, or, we grow up with pain. Our pain, we carry it into our adulthood. And especially if you are from where I come from, and I mean in Africa, we are not encouraged to talk about what we went through as kids. We are not encouraged. And because of that, we get our energy centers blocked because we are not addressing it. If you find that you cannot talk to anyone, get a journal, write. Because that is actually you talking. By you writing, you're actually talking. And you realize that when you finish, there is that Zen moment in you. Like you're like, wow, I feel okay now. I feel like a quarter of the baggage or half of the baggage has been lifted away from me. And you're like, I didn't realize that as I was writing, I was letting go. That's what journaling does. As you write, you let go. As you write, you let go. And if you do it more often, you realize that naturally your mind falls into place. You don't have those demons bothering you, saying neck, 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 blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? So I hope you understand that point. Address childhood pain. If you cannot talk to anybody, write it down. That's what I do. Right, guys, so the last thing that makes me love journaling, and this is the essence of it, this is the main reason, this is what you want to target. Journaling allows you to forgive. That is the main point. Don't just write stuff down and scribble and get, all these resolutions or steps that you're going to take to solve something or how you're going to heal yourself when you are not forgiving. Forgiving is the most important bit, because if ever you're not forgiving any situation in your life, that situation, that lack of forgiveness becomes a stumbling block. It becomes this big elephant that stands in the middle of you and the other side. It becomes, honestly, like I didn't know this until I started sort of like tapping into my own energy, tapping into my own energy and realizing that, do you know what? I actually have a lot of blocks in my life, and then going in one by one, addressing those blocks and more so forgiving them. You need to forgive family, you need to forgive friends, you need to forgive. And I am saying journaling will help you forgive. But don't make a mistake of saying, okay, she is saying forgive, but it means forgive and go back. No. You can forgive a person. You can forgive a family member. You can forgive a parent without, feeling the need to be forced to go, okay, fine, they are my parent, I'm going to go back. And believe you me, guys, if you go back, there are people whom I call repeat offenders. Some people are repeat offenders. They will go and do the same thing again. They will go and do the same thing again. Forgive them. And in the process, you're also forgiving yourself. So it goes, as you write something down, you find a way of dealing with it. And then that leads to forgiveness. That energy of anger, energy of resentment, it dies off. And as it dies off, the mind naturally forgives. But what you don't want to do is to keep learning the same lesson over and over and over again. Learn the lesson, move on, take it with you and, go on with your life. Some people, you can forgive them. They would have also learned their lesson that, oh, you know what, I think I upset Nompilo there. I think I was unfair to Nompilo there. But some people don't learn. Some people don't learn. And a person who does not learn does not deserve your time, your energy. Because every time you're going to be upset, that person is going to be laughing. So forgive, but it don't mean go back. If I'm saying to somebody forgive, I don't mean go back. So yeah, forgiveness is the number one thing in this life. Because the problem with forgiveness, it makes you hate the other person. And at the same time, eventually it can make you hate yourself. You would hate the other person and then now you're hurting and at the same time hurting yourself. You see a person and you're like, ugh, I hate them. Do you know what I mean? And that leaves a very big negative energy. So the main point of journaling, in my own view, is to get to a place where you forgive. You grow, you forgive. You grow, you forgive. And by growing and forgiving, you live a better life. Your body centers are not blocked anymore because you now are a lighter person who is full of forgiveness. As I said, don't go back, but you forgive. If you study a person, if they are worth a second shot, give them a second shot. But some people are repeat offenders. If you know that somebody is a repeat offender, they got to go. They don't need to be anywhere near you. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I feel like I have covered a lot of ground, and I feel like I may have left some people with an aha moment, like you know, yeah, I may have left some people with an aha moment, but that's the whole point of doing this video, because I want people to grow, I want people to learn, I want people to walk free. Honestly, if you, especially if you address your childhood, there is a lot of things that are stuck in our childhood that need us to pull them out. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I can talk the whole night and the whole day, but I'm gonna go now because I've got some more healing to do. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.